said this statement by the Iranian officials says that limited damage has occurred to the military sites that the IDF has targeted. Now, IRGC-affiliated media in Iran are saying that the initial assessments show that the attack was very weak and it did not occur significant or substantial damages to the Iranian infrastructure. Most of the bases that were targeted, most of the locations that were targeted were military bases. But I argued the fact that all of them were military sites because one of the air defenses that went off and started engaging with the Israeli projectiles or drones was of the nature, was in Khondab actually, in Arak province, which actually protects the heavy water reactor in Arak, which is a sensitive nuclear site. It is closed down for now, but it is still a nuclear site, and it deals with the nuclear facilities of Iran. So that is one of the air defenses in Iran that was actually engaged with the Israeli rockets and drones and projectiles. The other thing is we had 3 waves of attacks. The first wave occurred at 2:13 a.m. It hit Tehran, west of Tehran, and Karaj, a city nearby 40 kilometers to the west of Tehran. The second wave hit the eastern part of Tehran. I actually heard one of the sounds, one of the explosions, like 4 or 5 kilometers away from my residence in the eastern Tehran. And the third wave was mostly targeted at the cities of Andimeshk in Khuzestan and Spul, and probably a couple of military sites in Tehran. One of the sites that we're hearing now that has been damaged is at southwest Tehran, in Yaftabad of Tehran, which is actually a crowded area, a populated area, densely populated area. And we now have no reports of the damages done to that site. We now have to wait and see what the officials say in Iran.
So what you're saying is that while both Iran and Israel have said military sites were targeted, actually we don't know what Iranian air defenses might have brought down as well.
Yes, of course. There is no footage of any sort of wreckage in that would indicate what has happened, how many missiles or drones or projectiles were targeted. We have no knowledge, actually, of what Israel used. Israel says fighter jets were involved, but we didn't see any fighter jets in the skies. That's one of the oddities in that regard.
Okay, so still a lot, of course, we don't know yet. Early days, of course, but can we expect a response from Iran? That's the big question everyone's thinking about.
They already called it an escalating action, so I think it is safe to assume that Iran would respond in some form or some fashion, whether limited or broad. That depends on the diplomacy. The United States, we are now receiving reports that has asked Iran to restrain itself, but I don't think that would be the case. As outrageous as it could be, targeting a heavy water reactor would be very sensitive to Iran.